David Sutter from KOWB standing next to Laramie coach Clint Reed as we get ready for the last two games in the regular season. First up, the second-ranked Sheridan Bronx, and you and I both know, we were just talking a little bit about this before we turned on the camera, that it's not an easy finish when you look at the standings and you look at the rankings and you're talking about the top two teams in the state coming in and with where you're at. I know you guys are disappointed coming off the loss. How's the reaction been after last Friday at South?
It's disappointing and it's frustrating. You know, it is for coaches, it is for players, it is for everybody, and it should be that way. I mean, if you don't care enough, it's not going to hurt. So in that way it does. But you know, we have a tall task in front of us this week and next week. But again, you can win some games, you have some opportunities. But the reality is, you know, we talked about victory and defeat, where your character is, how you're going to move forward, how you're going to represent yourself, your pride within your individual self and in the program and in the team. So, you know, we need to come out and get better each and every day this week.
So how would you kind of measure that through the first couple of days of practice this week?
You know, it was tough too because we had a young game on Monday, so we couldn't have a full practice, you know, and we don't usually have one on Monday anyways, but we still couldn't get in here for film and do some chalk talk, so we had to save that for Tuesday and have a lighter practice. But at this time of the year, with injuries and people physically banged up, it's not a bad thing anyway. So, you know, we started in the classroom and got out there in shells on Tuesday and did some walkthroughs. And then picked up the pace as practice went along to get ready for Sheridan.
Sounds like you've got a change coming as well for Friday night against the Bronx.
Yeah, you know, Dodd's an extremely good athlete. Me and him had a talk. You know, I talked to Vegan and Dodd. I talked to Dodd again later in the evening. And he's just a good athlete that can provide us a lot of weapons on the field in many, many positions, you know, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And Vegan worked real hard in the summer. You know, we tried to get him some spot duty to see where he's at. But at this point, we said, you know what, we're going to hand over the ball to Jake and we're going to see what he can do. So he's going to get his chance Friday night, and Dodd's going to be in there at wide receiver, defensive back, special teams, and use his athleticism to show the kids where he's a team player.
Well, and obviously you've been banged up, you know, whether it's been varsity games or lower level games, and unfortunately that doesn't help when you didn't have a lot of depth coming in to begin with. So as you get ready now for Sheridan, what do you see out of Coach Mowry's squad?
You know, a lot of the same. What you see is an accountable program, an established program. You know, everything is working on all cylinders there. When they came in preseason, you weren't sure if they were going to be where they were at right now with Christensen gone. But again, when you have an established program, you have people that have bought in and committed to off-season programs and weight rooms, and you know, they're just disciplined in what they do. And that just makes them have consistency from year in and year out.
Garrett Kuhn's probably the big star. He's number 5, big running back, big anchor in the middle on defense. I know he is a major threat, but outside of him, it doesn't seem like they got a lot of stars this year, just a lot of good team guys.
No, exactly. It takes 11 guys in the game of football to produce. You know, there are some sports where some star, you know, got a pitcher on the mound and shuts everybody else can just eat their sunflower seeds, you know. You got a basketball player that can light it up, it is what it is. But when you got 11 guys that can produce, I mean, it's like I said, Kuhn might want to be one of the best linebackers in the state, but stat-wise, you know, he's not lighting it up in that way because there's so many guys rallying to the ball. Now, offensively, yeah, he's carrying the ball, he's carrying the rock, and he's doing a good job. It's just an efficient team.
Sounds like they run the quarterback a little bit more, but still Boynt able to throw the ball?
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback with a good balance. You know, it seems to be physical because he can run inside the tackles. That read option, so between him and Kuhn in the backfield, you know, it's two backs basically. But at the same time, if he needs to stick his foot in the ground and you know, sling the ball around, he does a good job. Got some good wide receivers. You know, in the line again, no fancy names out there, just big, strong, and accountable, and they do their job each and every year.
Defensively, you go on 4-man front, 3-man front. What are you seeing?
You know, with them, they're pretty much a 4-man right now. You know, they'll look more like us, really, like a 4-4-3. You know, you'll see a 4-3, maybe a cover 2 once in a while, but a lot of times you'll see 8 in the box. And again, I would expect to see that on a lot of teams against us. You know, right. Until South, we haven't had a huge running game, so why wouldn't you put, you know, 8 in the box and have a cover 3 over the top?
All right, well, it is a big game, 6 o'clock, Friday night, Deti Stadium. Join Aaron Lozano and myself. We'll have the radio broadcast at 5, starting on KOWB. You can listen on the KOWB app. With the Plainsmen taking on number 2 Sheridan, trying to snap their skid, and appreciate your time today.
Thank you, David.
Laramie coach Clint Reed as the Plainsmen get ready for Sheridan.